The fool was fishing. He was shocked to find the river crawling with crabs bigger than his face. Excited, he plunged into the river and caught a few. He happily took them home to cook for his sister-in-law. But his sister-in-law said they were poisonous and shouldn't be eaten. Someone in the village had eaten them before and their throats swelled up. They eventually suffocated and died. The fool immediately said that wasn't because the crabs were poisonous. It was because that person was allergic to seafood. Because the young man was actually a top student from the 21st century. Due to an accident, he traveled back in time and ended up in the fool's body. Since then, he and his sister-in-law have depended on each other. To take more advantage of her, he kept pretending to be dumb. He even shamelessly used excuses to wipe dirt off her. Without any hesitation, he touched her thigh. Though uncomfortable, she didn't want to get angry since he was a fool. So she made an excuse to borrow rice from a neighbor. The young man immediately told her not to go. He said he'd start hunting in the mountains from now on, promising she'd have meat at every meal. Though she didn't believe a fool could hunt, she didn't want to discourage his enthusiasm. She just warned him to be careful. Little did she know, he was actually a modern archery champion. Hunting small game was a breeze for him. Seeing the river overrun with carp, he immediately tested by shooting an arrow into the water. Unexpectedly, he hit a big carp. He was overjoyed. Then he noticed the river was full of big crabs. Without hesitation, he filled a basket with them. Then he strutted into the village to show off. But the villagers turned pale when they saw them. They warned him the crabs were poisonous. Absolutely don't eat them. But he didn't take it seriously. If this were modern times, crabs aren't something you get to eat whenever you want. Suddenly, a villager ran over anxiously, saying the village bully was targeting his sister-in-law. It was very dangerous. Frightened, the young man hurried home with the villager. It turned out his sister-in-law had gone to meet the bully earlier. The bully took the chance to demand she sleep with him once for each time. Luckily, the young man arrived just in time, saving her from the bully's abuse. His hand was injured, and his sister-in-law felt sorry for him. She warned him to live well if she ever died, then brought out a bowl of guanine soil, saying she'd spend half a year collecting just this little. She urged him to eat it to fill his stomach, but he immediately pushed it away. He said it's indigestible and causes bloating, then showed her the river crabs, saying, "These can't be eaten. I've seen someone in the village eat them. After eating, their throats swelled up, and then they suffocated. That means they were allergic to crabs. That won't poison me. I've eaten them." Really eaten? Tasty. Soon the young man cooked the crabs. Worried she wouldn't believe him, he took a bite first. Seeing him enjoy it so much, she started drooling with hunger. Still worried, she asked if he felt unwell. He quickly said he was fine, told her to eat quickly. She bit the bullet and broke off a crab leg. After tasting it, tears of joy streamed down her face. "Even if it's poisonous, I'll believe you're not poisonous, young man. You eat this, and I." His sister-in-law was happy. The young man could finally support himself, and someday, marry a wife. He took the chance to say he only wanted to marry his sister-in-law. She blushed instantly. That night, she brought hot water, saying she'd wash him. At first, he felt very embarrassed. But she said, "You're a fool and can't write." Then she began undressing him. "Cover yourself up." He never expected such treatment as a fool. He was even more determined to keep his secret. Early next morning, he started doing calisthenics in the yard. His sister-in-law came in from outside. Her long, pale legs almost blinded him. She quickly covered her legs, saying she'd just picked some wet clothes, then proudly showed off her treasures. He saw it was a poisonous wooden comb. "This is poisonous. I know. Eat it and take a nap. You'll be fine." "Take a nap? That's clearly poisoning." She poured the cassava into the water jar, signaling her to soak it for 3 days, changing water thrice. That way, it won't be harmful to eat. Then rest. At that moment, the bully came with the village chief. Because the young man had injured him, either pay his medical bills today, or give his sister-in-law to him as a concubine. The village chief urged the young man to comply. After all, according to the law, if his sister-in-law didn't remarry within half a month, she'd be exiled as an unmarried widow. Because the government decreed anyone aged 14 or older who remains unmarried would be assigned a spouse by local authorities. The young man was warned to be careful. By law, if she refuses to remarry, her parents would be fined taxes for 5 years. If the government assigns you a wife, you'd better live well. "I'm afraid that's not true." The young man took the chance to ask his sister-in-law to be his wife. She hesitated deeply. After all, marrying her brother-in-law went against ethics. She feared the villagers' gossip. But the young man said he didn't care about him. He was determined to marry his sister-in-law. His sister-in-law was deeply moved by this. She said she needed some time to think it over. Knowing not to rush her, the young man used hunting in the mountains as an excuse. He left her alone at home to think things through. Soon, he caught a rabbit. He planned to bring it home to make a cold rabbit dish for her. Then the same villager from before came running, shouting, "Trouble! The village bully is back with others to take his sister-in-law. Today is the final deadline for my third lady. If you still haven't found a husband, then come with these 2 gentlemen." In Pusan, widows who miss the deadline for remarriage either pay a fine or come with you see a choose, the village chief declared solemnly. It's not that they're bullying your sister-in-law, it's because she truly missed the deadline. At that crucial moment, the young man arrived just in time. He immediately held his sister-in-law close. Let's go. Then what are you going to do? You fool, are you really picking a fight with Guanggu? Who says my sister-in-law is unlucky? I'm her husband, no matter what you say.